Hello, my name is Jong-Jun Park, who is Deputy Director of the Digital Government Policy Division at the Ministry of the Interior and Safety. It is an honor for me to introduce our Digital Government Innovation Development Plan, which was announced on June 23rd in the post-COVID-19 environment. This is the revised version of the previous plan announced on October 29th, 2019. First, I will go over the background. We established the Digital Government Innovation Plan on October 29, 2019. The slogan of the plan is "Digital, the door to a better world, and Korea leads the way" is the subtitle. In this plan, we set up 6 priority tasks, which were first, government service innovation, second, my data revitalization, and third, advancement of the citizen engagement platform, and fourth, establishment of a smart work environment for public officers, and fifth, revitalization of cloud and digital infrastructure, and final, establishment of an ecosystem of public data and open service. For active operation, we established a pan-government task force team and the Digital Government Innovation Working Group with industries and academic professionals. In addition, we revised the so-called 3 Data Act that balances privacy and data use. As we all know, COVID-19 changes all societies. Our daily lives are being changed fundamentally, and the world economy is being put to an unprecedented crisis, said President Moon. Like other countries, Korea has had a hard time since February 2020. To overcome the COVID-19 pandemic, we developed several digital-based services. First, we faced a mask shortage problem, so we limited the mask supply to pharmacies and launched a real-time inventory database. Private developers made a map-based application for the public. We believe that this lessened public anxiety over the lack of masks. Second, we developed a self-quarantine management app and upgraded it continuously. In June, more than 60,000 people used the app daily. This app helps officers monitor people who are under self-quarantine without coming in contact with them. Third, because of COVID-19, Korean students couldn't go to school, so we provided a stable, nationwide online classroom environment so that every student can access their online class. First, based on the economic crisis, the Korean government paid out the emergency gesture relief fund to all Korean citizens. We paid 99.5% of 21.7 million households within 1 month in cooperation with private credit card companies. On June 23rd, as I introduced, we established the acceleration and expansion of Digital Government Innovation Plan. We believe that digital transformation is the key means of overcoming the crisis and an essential element to respond to the post-COVID-19 era. We set up the following 4 core tasks. 1. Expansion of non-contact public services. 2. Service innovation. 3. Private-public partnership. And 4. Expansion of digital infrastructures. Here, we will introduce the objectives and core tasks. The objectives, strategies, and core tasks are introduced here. Our objective is to become a world-leading country through digital transformation. Expand the previous plan or implement it sooner than planned. Respond to the demand for non-contact public services. Strengthen private-public partnership. Invest in digital infrastructure. First is the expansion of non-contact services. Government services are easily accessible anytime, anywhere, without having to visit public offices. Due to time constraints, I will talk about this specific plan briefly. The use of mobile ID cards is the first task. Not only the public sector, but the private sector also needs digital identity verification for non-contact services. Through mobile ID cards, each person can verify one's digital identity using a smartphone, online or offline. With the mobile driver's license, adults can verify their identity, access the civil service center online or offline, and provide the non-contact identification for financial transactions and rent car online. Especially the driver's license is the second largest identification card in the South Korea, so we plan to the mobile driver's license card in 2021. We developed the public my data. Paper documents contain too much information that is not actually needed for some services. To protect private information and realize data sovereignty, each person can search and store their own private information that the public sector already has, and they can provide any additional information required. And we can give only the requested information and check the use of private information. And we increase the types of e-certificates that are issued and stored in one smartphone. We already have 13 kinds of e-certificates and plan to increase the amount of more than 200 between now and 2021. We also adapted blockchain technology to real estate transactions for a transparent real estate market. As we introduced online education, some schools were not adequately prepared, so we will establish the Wi-Fi infrastructure in the classroom, create more online textbooks, and strengthen teachers' digital capabilities. We also changed the way we provide public services. People can get information and beneficial services at once through various channels. From 2021, Koreans can use the public secretary and the chatbot. The public secretary can provide information about public services proactively and in a customized way. A person can ask questions and get answers through the chatbot. We will start this service using messenger-based notifications and then use the artificial intelligence assistants that can interact through private AI speakers. We have the Government 24, which integrated all types of public services online. Through this, individuals can search customized benefit information, including the qualification information that is given by central and local governments. We also just expanded these integrated services to SMEs, startups, and small businesses. Our government provides hundreds of public services, making it difficult to find the right one. We designed a one-stop package service that covers matters related to each stage of a person's life cycle, such as childbirth, childcare, employment, and death, so that individuals can request public services easily. With COVID-19, call center employees are at a high risk of infection. In Korea, many call counselors were infected because of the crowded workspace. In addition, people sometimes had trouble connecting to the KCDC, as Korean Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, call centers due to the sudden increase in call and the shortage of call center representatives available to answer the call because many were out sick. We now have a plan to establish the National Integrated Call Center System so that relevant call centers can provide counseling for the base calls with system support, and counselors can work from home. As we have introduced the Emergency Disaster Relief Fund and Mask Inventory Reminder app, it is hard for the government to solve all problems by itself. Especially during the digital transformation era, we expect that the kind of public-private partnership would be more important than before. So we are trying to expand the partnership institutionally with private sectors. The Korean government is trying to open public data much more than before. As you all know that Korea is top ranked in the field of open data. We are taking into consideration user-specific, market-demanding public data and unstructured data like the images. Like autonomous driving, smart city, healthcare, and so on. We hope industries can develop advanced and convenient services. We are now adopting the big data analysis in public administration. This year, Korea created a new act for data-based administration. The central and local governments, as well as all agencies, open and share their data for public administration, and they can also use the data to make policies or strategies. We also opened public service to the private sector too. Unfortunately, apps and web pages developed by central and local governments were not as convenient as those developed by the private sector. As such, we opened the public services to the private sector so that people can pay taxes and bills, make reservations for public facilities, and report complaints using the mobile app created by the private sector. The government and agencies get only the information and provide public services through the private application. All types of flexible public digital services need a trustful data infrastructure. Unfortunately, small local governments and agencies still have small data systems in their offices. We transfer the public sector information resources to the private or public cloud to enhance security and respond to emergency situations. Moreover, we set up the digital service contract policy so that each public sector can use the private cloud and artificial intelligence services in a timely manner. We also hope that it can revitalize the private market. Like the public mask inventory reminder, we need to react as fast as we can when we are faced with emergencies. So we established the Data SOS team that can collect and open public data that are needed to handle emergencies. We also reserve spaces for public-private cooperation in the cloud. Here, we preemptively invest in digital infrastructure. We believe that Internet of Things-based early warning system can save lives. We already know this, but it is hard to install this system due to the budget problem, but we now try to build in IoT-based early warning system more. The Korean government split the intra and inter-network infrastructure to maintain security, making it convenient for public officers to work outside of their offices. We configured 5G for a safe wireless internet. Cybersecurity is always the main concern. We use artificial intelligence for cybersecurity. Korea is one of the most developed countries in the field of IT technology, but some people still find it difficult to use IT-based services. For them, we installed Wi-Fi in public places, high-speed network, and provide digital competency education at the Digital Competency Center, targeting all citizens. We are also continuously developing pilot projects like the AI Smart Mirror, which can translate and communicate in sign language. In particular, we will make a digital competency training curriculum for public officers using private online materials. Now we introduce our plans for the future. We hope that we would be a world-leading country with overcoming the COVID-19 crisis. The people becomes more comfortable with using the convenient public services, and the companies grow more that we can vitalize the digital economy, and the government gets smarter. This is our Digital Government Innovation Plan, and thank you very much.